Welcome to the RC Roundtable podcast, where we discuss the latest RC hobby news, events, model reviews, and a whole lot more. Well, hello, folks. Welcome to episode number 172, the official episode of Cessna, of the RC Roundtable, where we talk about not roundtables that are RC, but radio-controlled airplanes and
Cessnas
and related and such and things and whatever. But anyways, I'm Fitz Walker, and joining me is Terry Dunn.
Yo.
And Lee Ray.
Yo.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, we've got some goofy names under, which I have no idea. Eagle Driver. Oh, that makes sense. But Mickey Hart, okay.
All right. It's a character. Go look it up.
Okay.
Explain yourself, young man.
No, it's just that's the search and you shall find the comedy routine with a character named Mickey Hart. Makes me laugh every time.
My Google's broke, so I'll have to look at it later. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. Hopefully you'll find this episode both entertaining and enlightening. So, let's get the show started. Where do we want to go? We want to talk about news.
I think you actually started it. Here's the trivia question. What's the nickname of the Cessna 172?
Not the Skylane, is it?
No.
It's not the Skyline?
No.
Oh.
The Ensign Eliminator?
Skyhawk.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So,
yeah, I believe you.
Then the question is, when and what year was the first Skyhawk flown?
So you're acting like you know this stuff, but I can see the reflection off your glasses. Wikipedia.
Well, you know what? But I'm doing this for the people who are listening because they're probably screaming at the radio right now going, I know the answer. Can I win a prize?
What was the question?
In what year was the first Cessna 172 Skyhawk flown?
1961.
Fitz? Lower.
I'm thinking early 60s too.
It's lower than that. 1955. So
50, really that early?
1955 was the first Skyhawk. And am I correct? It is the most popular private aircraft sold. Am I correct in saying that?
In terms of what? Numbers built? Numbers
built as far as private aircraft?
Maybe. I think the Bonanza is
certified.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it was certified, yeah.
I read something recently that said the Beechcraft Bonanza was the longest produced because they're still making them, right?
No, it says right here. Again, people are screaming at their speakers who are driving down the road listening to the show. First flown in 1955, more 172s have been built than any other aircraft.
Okay, listen to my words. Read my lips. The longest produced is the Bonanza. Not as many, but over a longer period.
Yeah, because they stopped making 172s for a while.
Yeah, I'll believe you on that.
Okay, I was trying to keep a 172 theme going, but okay, we'll move on now. Thought I'd just toss it in there.
Yeah.
First of all, who here has flown in a 172? Raise your hand.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay.
I think when I went to Riddle, I did.
And then who here has a Cessna 172 in their collection?
Model?
Yeah. Fitz is like this. He's like hovering his hand. It comes down. Goes like,
well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I have a 182 model.
I have a 150. So,
you're right.
At what point I wanted to build, that 182, I was going to dress it up as a 172 and dress it up like the Riddle planes that we had.
Visually, what's the difference?
I know the window is one of them.
3-bladed prop is the only thing I can tell.
The sticker on the side?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
A back window is different. And I know that because Austin figured that out when we were at an airport.
Okay.
No, shoot, that's what I was going to say. Crud. I forgot what I was going to say about the 172. I have time. I have actually log time in one. A friend of mine's brother had one. I don't know if it was his or he rented it. But we went for flying, And at the time, I was taking my glider training. He goes, "Hey, you want to do some flying around in it?" And I said, "Sure." And we ended up doing some. I did some takeoff and landings in it. And since the guy was a certified friggin' idiot, he was able to sign off on my logbook that I had a couple hours of 172 time.
All right.
Well,
Fun.
oddly enough, Fitz was talking about gliders. My first airplane flight was in a glider.
Really?
My first private aircraft or powered aircraft was a 172. But I also did my first private pilot training in a 172. So this is a special Cessna episode, folks. I think that's what the title will be for some reason, even though I don't think anything in our script today has anything to do with Cessna 172s. But glad you brought it up, Fitz.
But you're right, though. I still want a 172 model. I've never. I have one, kind of, sort of, but I do still. I want to have one to fly around. I thought it'd be neat, just a scale model. It's such a classic design.
I have my dad's Skylane. This the Carl Goldberg Skylane.
Really?
Yeah.
Kit or something?
It's my dad. It balsa kit, so I still have it. It's in the attic. So
I thought it was a Skyhawk.
I know, but I'm just saying I have my dad's Skylane. I'm just trying to think of other planes I got. So
Well, what's a Skylane?
I don't know. It's just probably the non-commercial name version you can use.
Because that was your guess, right, Fitz?
Yeah,
So yeah,
The Skylane's the 182, isn't it?
probably.
Yeah, the Skylane's the 182. The Skyhawk is a 172.
All right. So for everybody out there screaming at your phones and your radios, send us an email. Contact at RC Roundtable. Tell us who's right, who's wrong.
Guy.
Or here's Terry's number. Let me give you his phone number. You can call him right now.
Operators are standing by.
You mentioned the Bonanza. I have a Byron Bonanza, V-tail Bonanza. One of these days I'm going to build.
Wow.
Of course you are. Fitz.
I wish I was going to say, I wish I had $1 every time Fitz said that.
I will. Trust me.
Someday.
I will.
Okay.
I will build it one day.
All right. We'll hold you
Patience,
to it.
young Skywalkers.
Episode 9642.
So it's one day and I'll build it.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Okay.
All right. So
Now, before we do that, though,
there's more.
let's move on. What? No, don't do it.
In our pre-recording chatter, we usually talk about silencing our phones, but we didn't this time. So
Did
if you have
someone's phone go off?
No,
Mine's
but
silent. Mine's been silent since like yesterday. So
all right. Would you hear it if I chewed gum?
Yes. I heard you. What, you were eating Nerds earlier or something? You had a box of something and they were loud.
Sweet tarts.
Oh my goodness. It was
The drug of choice.
also before we started the show, Terry was burping up a storm too. It's like Revenge of the Nerds. Or
One
something.
time. I did animate it a little bit, but it was only one. I make no apologies.
Are we ready to start?
Yeah, go for
Are
it.
you ready to go?
Oh,
All right.
we
So
have
the next
started.
thing, you sure you're ready, Terry?
Would you like a red carpet, an engraved invitation? Come on,
All right. This is your last chance.
go for it.
All right. I'll talk slowly in case you want to. Oh, he's drinking. All right. So, a couple of new product announcements since our last time we've talked. I guess which one will we talk first? I guess we'll go alphabetically. So, New Flight has introduced the Lee Special, the twin timber. Excuse me. Not twin turbo, just twin timber. 1.6 meters. So
It's
this
big,
is
right?
What's that?
That's bigger than usual.
It's bigger
Yeah,
than 1.2.
It's
yeah.
0.1 meters bigger than the other turbo timbers. So that's what 100 millimeters.
Don't try to hurt yourself there. Let it go.
Okay. So
It's a
yes,
good
it's a little
size.
bigger wingspan. I presume a little longer. It's got two motors with counter-rotating props. Still looks like a timber. It's just got two motors on the wings, flared off nose. It's interesting that it seems a bit more like the Timber X, in that they were saying that the the flaps can also function as ailerons for really aggressive maneuvering. And did you see also that it has? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I assume it has differential thrust too.
Yes, that was just about to come out of my mouth. It has both differential thrust and thrust reversing.
Oh, can you reverse in the air?
I know what you're going at that. I had the same question. I don't know, but if I had one, I'd try to find out. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Be able to have full power one and reverse the other. Imagine the pinwheels and flat spins you could do with that kind of thrust diversion.
So hold on just a second. Lee, was that sigh because Fitz's audio is cutting out? Or is it me?
It's you, actually.
Okay, so my internet's slowed down. My kids must be upstairs, or my kid must be upstairs on the webs. So, all right, go ahead. Yeah, something like that.
Don't know anything else I'm missing on this.
Well, is it just me, or is the wing chord more than usual?
Chord? What do you mean?
Yeah, it looks like it's a fat, lower aspect ratio. Am I just pretending that?
I don't know. Insufficient data to formulate a reply.
All right. So, Lee, when you designed this model, did you intentionally give it a lower aspect ratio?
Yeah. I know you guys are teasing me, but I'm going to pull this picture up. I got to change screens here.
A bit of an in-joke between us. Lee's got a bee in his bonnet that Horizon has stolen his idea.
It's really all for fun, but here's their version. I came out with mine first. so I'm currently showing a photo of our 3-view we did on the electric hub, and I made mine a twin, and boy, it looks just like it.
Yeah, they even made theirs blue just to spite you.
I know my wheels are just a little bit on the junior side. But, anyway, I just thought that was unique, and you know what? Kudos to them because we all have. Well, do we all have a twin? We all have the Twin Otter, right? The UMX.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So we still need to do the 3-view on that, but we
a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So,
is there floats available for this?
Yeah, I think there are.
Oh yeah, there is. I see a picture of it. Yes, cool.
So we slide down here. Is it down here? I don't remember where there was.
The answer
it's got
is
some
yes.
Lights too. Yes, the answer is yes. But yeah, it does have some lights. But the only,
scroll up. It's on just below the main picture. If you scroll to the little arrows, nope, up again. Stop. There you go.
Right here, one of these.
Yeah, scroll to the right.
All right,
should be a picture of it in floats.
Nice.
This is high quality entertainment right here.
I do not see a picture of it in floats, guys.
Really?
I know I think I've seen it, but I think it may have been in the video. Yeah, there's no picture. Oh, there it is.
Aha.
There it is. Aha.
There it is with floats.
Yes, it does have floats. And both of you have your UMX Twin Otters with floats currently on them, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was flying mine the other day off some puddles.
Fun.
Yeah. So it can run 3S, 4S. Most likely people will push 4S. And not that I have a problem with it, but there was no tray in this one, which I really did like the tray on the other trays that they were installing. Only because the concern I have is, switching between 3S and 4S, this is a significant weight distribution. So that looking at this tray, the photo of the tray right now, it's on our screen, it looks like you have room to shove a battery back to get the CG just right.
Yeah. And like you said, nobody's going to run 3S in this thing.
Yeah. So maybe they've already got it set there. I do like the wing harness that they have, the connection. And I don't know if I can pull it up real quick, but there is a drawing here in the manual. Please look at the manual, learn more. But there's a neat little connection they have. I think it's just 2 wires.
Oh, interesting.
And then this plugs in, or this comes from the wing as well. And so there's 4. There's power, and then there's the wing and lights. I'm assuming it's a multi-connector. So
Well, yeah, it's interesting. There's 3 wire connectors that go, I assume, out to the motors. And it looks like an expanded XT60 or EC5 or whatever it would be.
Yeah, but it's keyed differently, so it's unique for that aircraft.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying they created a whole new connector.
The whole new connector. That's interesting. With 3.
Yeah, so just 4 excuse me. Well, actually, this looks like it's one piece. This harness with the red and green settings. It looks like it's a one-piece harness. So it's just 3 connections you have to make. And then bolt the wing down. So that's very nice because I will tell you, I have the E-Flight Oh shoot, what's the little Pawnee? It's the Night Pawnee. Thank you. That's what it's called.
The Brave.
And the Brave. Thank you. The Pawnee Brave. And it's a spaghetti mess of wires trying to get that wing on and off. So I typically just try to keep it on that plane and just move it around the shop. But this is unique, and I'm glad they're doing stuff like that.
All right, cool. And for you people in your car right now, we're looking at pretty pictures in the manual. We're going to read the manual online. It's the Andy Kaufman bit.
380 smackaroonies, guys. What are your thoughts?
Somewhat expected for well, that's the bind and fly.
Correct.
With AS3X and safe.
Yeah, and whatever. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they'll sell buckets of them. Timbers are just that middle of the road kind of airplane that everybody likes. I have nothing against it. I don't particularly need one. Fitz will get to fly several of them.
Somebody in my club will show up with one, and I'll probably end up flying it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're filling in a niche. So yeah, good for them. I don't know that the world was asking for another timber, but they got it, and it's at least unique.
Yeah, I like twins, so most those are like multi-engines, and it's something that's not intimidating as a multi-engine. So
yeah,
get one, have fun.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not as excited about this plane as I was, say, with the Twin Otter. You know, so what I'm saying is I'm not jumping on this. It's not saying, oh yeah, I got to have one of those. I like it. I give it a thumbs up. But boy, I tell you that I've had so much fun with the Otter. It's hard for me to think that I don't know. This is good. Maybe because I have a Timber X and I'm very happy with it, so I have the best of both worlds in two separate aircraft.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Now what?
You have the reins to the show.
Me?
You're captain of the ship.
You never give me the reins. Hey, somebody went to Whataburger.
Yeah, I saw that. Whataburger, Texas tradition.
One of the best.
What's in the cup?
Irish soda.
Just
Irish tea.
Just plain old tea.
All right. Well,
All right.
You want to go to the next item?
We do.
All right. So, our buddy over at Old School Model Works, Mark Lanterman, has introduced a new plane called something I forgot. What is it called?
It's right there on the screen.
Minuet. Thank you. Sorry, I clicked off.
You're welcome.
So, very interesting little. It's basically a very much kind of a Eindecker looking aircraft.
I was going to say Blériot, but
sorry, you're right. In between a Blériot and Eindecker. Yeah, it's more Blériot. I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, a little bit of an Eindecker, but
yeah,
Blériot.
Yeah, it's got some elements of both.
Very neat. What's the size on? I forgot the wingspan on this thing.
67.5 inches.
Oh, it's pretty good size.
It is.
It says electric and glow, so 15 to 25 size glow or 250 watt plus electric. It's pretty neat. Looks like it'd be a fairly quick build, something very distinctive looking. I see a dummy engine on the right. Is that in the kit, do you know, or is that
No,
it's an extra?
It's an extra.
Okay.
And I can click on this here. It says click for more details. So there you go.
That's neat. 3D printed, maybe?
Yeah, I think Lucian makes those.
Oh,
And
okay.
It's made to fit around the recommended electric motor.
That's pretty neat.
It's an Anzani 3-cylinder.
You mean a recommended badass motor?
Yes, that's what I said.
Looks like you use a resin printer for that, at least for the housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice. Cool.
I mean, I would, gosh, just looking at, you got to buy this accessory kit with the aircraft.
Yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So I built a much smaller version and an Eastbourne monoplane, and that was from Retro RC. That was several years ago. I think I had still lived in Houston, or maybe I was in Lubbock. I think maybe that was a Lubbock plane. Anyway, the original also used the Anzani 3-cylinder, and that motor, it came with a faux motor kit. It was made of cardstock. Some balsa that made the crankcase, and then the fins on the cylinders were cardstock. And then used some aluminum or brass tubing for the exhaust stacks, and just a few simple things. But the overall impact of those simple things, it looked really good. So I was really happy with how that turned out. Yeah. And so this one has the same thing, just without all the effort overhead.
Yeah. Now, as a reminder, Old School Model Works, they make kits. These are laser cut balsa kits that you will have to build and glue together and cover and assemble. But it usually invokes really, really good and clever engineering in his kits. I've built, I think all three of us have built kits, or at least, oh no, Lee, you have one, you haven't built it yet, right? Yeah, he's on his head. So no doubt it'll be a fun build and easy plane to fly. You don't have to cover half the fuselage too, so it should be faster build.
Yeah, I like that the forward fuselage is plywood. So, like he did in the pictures here, you can stain it.
Yeah,
which is what I did on the other one I built. No, it looks good, and it's holding up well after a few years.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, let's try this. Would you keep it this paint scheme, or would you do something different?
Who are you asking?
We'll start with you, Terry.
I would probably do something very similar. Maybe put some... No, I wouldn't do scallops. It's more of a Golden Age thing. Yeah, I'd probably go similar. Maybe the only difference would be whatever color the wings are. This is kind of an antique white. Maybe I'd do a cream. I don't know.
Do you think that's covered in cloth or some type of cloth material?
That was my initial guess.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks good.
What about you, Fitz?
Very similar to Terry. I'd be really tempted to stain it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the color he used for the wings and tail. Probably along the lines, like Terry said, cream or something along those lines. I might be tempted to put some metal on the front of the fuselage.
Ooh,
maybe.
I like that.
Yeah, some simulated aluminum or something.
Yeah.
Maybe half an inch deep or inch deep, something like that, just to give it a little bit of a look. But yeah.
Okay. Nice looking airplane.
Well, I didn't ask. Can I give you my response?
Fine. Go ahead.
There's still 3 seats at this round table, correct?
Tonight there are.
Did y'all see The Spirit of St. Louis with Jimmy Stewart? Do you remember?
I may have at some point in my life, but
some time ago, yeah.
The scene that he flies in with his beat up Jenny, lands at the army base, and he turns in his papers, and I'm here to fly, and the plane's just total wreck. I feel like making this one like battle fatigued. Just have a couple of holes or have patches all over it, and just have a character in that cockpit that's just trying to hold it together, just and have like string tying the struts are on there and stuff like that, or have like a rope for one strut versus a wire. I don't know. It just seems like that could be a lot. Oh, and definitely like make a little fake patch, those tire patches that you see.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
You reminded me. I watched a movie that I had never seen before that I can remember, and it's those men and their magnificent flying machines.
Exactly, same premise. Exactly. Yeah.
And I enjoyed that movie far more than I probably should have. It was a completely silly movie, but it was really fun.
Oh, and oil stains all the way back. And maybe even have it so it drips. Like you could just bring something. So when you're sitting there, it's like, is this thing oil? But I will say, Fitz, I like the idea of putting a little metal wrap on the nose. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
So my only comment about it, which isn't a criticism, is that the ailerons seem kind of small. So I would guess it's not aerobatic.
Oh yeah, they're.
They're kind of mid-wing. They're not even at the tips.
They hint at a roll.
Yeah.
It's a minor a nudge. Let's go roll this way.
Assuming it's based on a real Blériot, I think they were wing warping, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, those things were barely controllable as well.
Yeah. So I think I've talked before. I used to have a model that had wing warping. It was a Radical RC version of the Wright Flyer, but it used GWS slow stick flying parts. So I had GWS wings for slow stick wings, and then what would have been the tail feathers you made the canard out of, and then rudders. And it used some weird contraption to warp the wings for roll. And the way it worked out, it actually more skewed the wings than actually warped them, and it wasn't that effective. It was neat to look at, but the rudder was very effective. But the wing warping itself, not so much.
Hasn't NASA been experimenting with a modern version of wing warping? I think past few years. They have a different term for it. I forgot what it was called, but with basically they can change the shape of the wing.
Like elastic?
Something like that.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
More efficient than having separate ailerons,
Yeah, rather than a separate hinged surface, the wing itself. Yeah, change shape.
I want to say I watched a video where the wingtip was being modified. I had video of the wingtip reshaping, but
it could be it. Yeah.
Well, I think it it rolled down. It would actually flex the tip in different directions. So
there's an RC model out there where the entire wingtip is aileron. Is it FMS? It's a night flyer. I've seen it before. The whole
I have. There's a kit. It's got like a dinosaur name, and I forgot the name of it. It has the whole tips are ailerons. I have a small kit of one.
Yeah. So for everybody out there who's now yelling at their screen, just save your emails till the end. You can create a list of all the things we can't remember or we're wrong about, and then just send us one email.
Paleo, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah.
So I guess we need to do our Siskel and Ebert vote on this aircraft. I think it's a thumbs up. I think would be a fun plane to build. Yeah, and sure. Yes, I still have to do the Mamba. It's on my list. I feel like I'm Fitz. I'll get to it. I'll build it eventually.
I'll get to it. All right. Well, I think that rounds out our new products for this episode. Did I miss something?
Well, hold on. Have we done the link yet? Oldschoolmodels.com, Minuet.
Yeah, the usual. Check our social media. Check the website for the links.
Yeah, $179.95. I assume it's available now. We'll just assume that it's already shipping.
We assume that by the time you hear this, it will be available.
Yeah, at the rate we've been releasing shows, it's probably going to be discontinued by the time we release this episode.
All right. So, Lee, you are going on a trip, a 3-hour tour, right? 3-hour tour?
Yeah. 14, 15, 2-day travel.
Before you build any momentum there, the plane I was thinking of is called the FMS Night Flyer. No, the Firefly, excuse me. That's the one that has the twisting wingtips. It's FMS. So I don't know if that's what you were thinking of or not, Fitz.
No.
Because Fireflies, that ain't no dragon I ever heard of, or dinosaur. I can't even see that.
It literally has a really weird name, and I can't think of it.
Are you thinking of that flying wing?
It's kind of a flying wing thing, yeah. It looks like it was made in the 30s.
Yeah, 30s. I think Steven Zero has one of those. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead with your comments. I just cut you off. So rude. Like we're driving down Beltway 8.
I'm going here. All right, next topic. So I'm going to SEF, the Southeastern Electric Flying Fantastic. What is it?
Flight Festival.
Wait.
What? See, now yes, Fitz.
I have a go back. I found it. I'll put it in the chat. Maybe we can find it. I can't even pronounce that. Archaeopteryx? A Granger?
Archaeopteryx. Oh my gosh.
Archaeopteryx.
See, now I don't feel bad that I couldn't remember the damn name because it's almost unpronounceable.
Granger Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx?
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll have to find a picture of it to share.
I just want to stop and thank everybody who's still listening to our show. Thanks for holding on and thinking that we're just part of your life, and you understand that with our insanity, you feel normal.
I'm not even listening anymore.
So, anyways, maybe we'll post a link or something. We'll put it on our Facebook page. All right, Lee, I'm sorry.
Please make that your name at our next live show. Please don't forget.
I'll call myself
Maybe-
Operatrix Joe.
Maybe one of those models would be at Ceph. Speaking of Ceph,
Speaking of Ceph,
Oh, wow.
really weird segue. So I'm going to Ceph for the first time
What does that
next
mean?
week. I say next week, so it's the week of the 19th right now. So, oh gosh, what day am I arriving? I think it's Tuesday the 25th. Yes. So
of
I will
April
be-
in the year 2023.
There you go. That's the gotta make this for the listening audience. So yes, I will be going to Ceph 2023. I will arrive on the 25th. I plan to stay all through the weekend. I am feverishly, mind-numbingly, angrily finishing my trailer. I say upgrades, but really has been a nightmare of fixing things. And I could have another episode about how to pick your first cargo trailer. I'd love to do that, chat. Specifically live, because I think I'd love to have other people chime in with things they've done or regrets they've had, like me.
Well, didn't you do that before you bought the trailer?
I did a lot of research, but until I started disassembling this trailer to do the upgrades, did I realize how much stuff was not done properly. So at this time, my trailer is in some pieces, and I've got to leave in less than a week. So I am hoping to finish some new electrical work that I've done in there and insulation and fix the ceiling, which, by the way, that's one of the first things I'll tell you. If you ever get a cargo trailer, used or new, and it's not finished and you're just buying one, you want to insulate the roof of your cargo trailer. That really was a huge change from, coming home and working in it and then going to several events last year with it. And it's for my little bald head that close to the top. I mean, Terry, your head would have been touching metal. Your head would have melted to the roof. But that's a big benefit. So I did finish that. I should be done by this weekend. And gosh, I got to tell you, I don't know if it's here. I'd love to show it on the screen, but I wrote down all these notes that I made for Ceph. It's like I got over 15 planes listed that I want to bring, and I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, I just can't. I need to focus on a handful of good ones that I can repair and so forth. So, and you know what? I'm not going to even talk about what the choices are. I'm just going to show up. Of course, I did mention in our last show, Plywood Overcast will be making a visit to Ceph. So hopefully that'll be fun. Maybe I can get a Ceph sticker. Maybe if they've got some giveaways, I'll slap that. And we need to start putting a patch on every place we visit with Plywood Overcast.
Exactly,
like luggage. Yeah. So hopefully that'll be entertaining for some folks, and let people have some stick time on it. It is it's an interesting plane to fly. And Fitz, you flew it at best. So
Yes, I did.
Would you call it a lazy elephant? So I'm looking forward to hanging out with the guys. Josh Orchard will be there. Dag Atwood, he'll be there. And so I plan to, I have a nice spot up front. I got to thank Bob, who's the, I say contest director, but I mean, he's event manager, contest director. He's been doing it for the past 9 or 10 years. Super friendly guy. I enjoyed every conversation I've had with him. And he's just gone out of his way to make me feel welcome. I guess, especially because I'm a noob, kind of wondering if they have some kind of hazing they give to the new guys. And I'm up front, so I'll be seen, I'm going to wear a special hat or something. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll be doing a lot of content for the AMA. I plan to do a live show every day while we're out there. So I hope you guys tune in as well. And some flight line stuff and interviews. It's just, gosh, the idea of being in an event with 200 pilots, that's probably the largest one I've been to. So,
all right.
Bigger than Flight Fest, you think?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I was thinking Flight Fest probably is bigger.
There's a difference. Yeah, I guess it depends on how you count them, because I'm sure Flight Fest has more pure numbers, but it's a different kind of crowd. It's a lot more rookies and people in the build tent, which is all great. It's just a different atmosphere. But I would say the vast majority of people at Ceph, based on my experience, which is now old and dusty, but most people there are experienced. And
let me specify that Flight Fest Texas versus the main Flight Fest in Ohio. So yeah, there's probably a lot more in the Ohio one Fits. So as far as Texas goes, no. So I don't know what other questions you have, but guys, just stay tuned. By the way, I'll also be providing content for RC Roundtable. So look for a recording or a live show for our channel as well.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
Because I don't know, did y'all get the email this week from the AMA? AMA this week?
Oh yeah, it's got your mug on the front. So
Did you see my mug?
Stuff. Yeah, very nice.
Big letters says Lee Ray's going to flight to
I know. I had no idea.
Yeah,
No one told me. I had no idea that I was going on the cover. I was like really shocked. He told me he wanted to add an item in there. I had no idea it was going to cover. But my trivia question for you guys, if you were observant, do you see anything wrong with the P-38?
I didn't look at it that closely.
Oh, geez.
You have a picture of it?
Yeah. Can you flash it on the screen?
Can you hold a second?
I've got mine here.
Lee heads to Seth. I love that.
We'll be right with you in a moment.
What's wrong with the P-38?
Amazon women on the moon.
It looks like it has a 72 megahertz antenna on it.
No, that's the elevator.
No, there's one going straight back. Oh, maybe that's the shadow of it.
That's the elevator push. That's the elevator.
Oh no! What I'm seeing, it's this. I see that, but there's also a seam on the trailer behind it that looks like. Yeah.
Oh, that's the trailer.
That's a P-30 you were holding, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. My JR models.
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't really.
Well,
magnifying glass out.
It's okay. It's not a huge trivia question, but I looked at the photo and went, "Where is my spinner? The left spinner's gone."
Oh.
I had no idea. It's been here this whole time.
Battle damage?
The good news is I found it.
Oh.
But it has not been here since it was been in my shop. I took it downstairs, and I was freaking out because after I saw the photo, and I didn't notice until the email. So I was like, I was just completely blind to the fact that my spinner's gone, but I actually found it in the workshop. So just, man, I was like, I don't want to go without a spinner.
That's a miracle because you showed me pictures of your workshop last weekend. I don't know how you found anything of that. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but
you should. It was bad. And it was a Hyperion spinner. So it's like, it was a very rare, well, they don't even make them anymore. And
really?
It just fit. No, they don't make the Hyperion spinners anymore. It was just a perfect fit. So anyway, disaster averted. And so I will definitely be bringing the P-38. I think that'll be a blast to fly out there. In fact, I can tell you that there are currently 3 P-38s on my to bring list. So
3.
That's on brand. So
P-30.
Back in the day, Dag used to create kind of special builds for Seth. Is he doing that this year, or has he advertised one? And they were almost always ginormous.
I'm drawing a blank. What is the name of the big yellow and blue plane he flew last year?
One. I don't know.
Oh shoot!
The one I remember is called an MSL.
MSL. That I think that's it.
That's from a long time ago, and it was huge. I think he used reclaimed lumber to build it.
Well, this one's like 160 inches.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So he's not bringing it this year. He said first, I don't know if he had a problem with it or he just decided he's not to bring it. So I kind of was expecting him to bring this plane he brought last year, but he's not. But I'm sure, and maybe it'll be a nice surprise, he'll bring something else. I've always been told, and even Bob had a conversation with me, Dag always brings something to entertain the crowd. So we'll look forward to that.
All right, cool.
I hope I entertain the crowds too. We'll see. I hope that JR models, entices some people. I have a feeling I'll get to talk with some old. Okay, what are you laughing about, Fitz? I hear you breathing like you're about to laugh at me.
I got a story to tell, but go ahead.
Oh no, because it's old school. It's that JR models. It's that Hobby Lobby type aircraft. I kind of hope I'll see some people out there go, oh wow, I wish I had one. Kind of like the feeling I had when I got it.
Well, Horizon used to go there with their full crew. Do you know if they're going this year?
I do know that they're a main sponsor. Extreme Flight is their key sponsor, and Flex Innovation. So Horizon will be there. And then I think their new sponsor is TGK Connectors. So, and it's on their website, which I'll pull up here real quick. There you go. So, and Bob said they've just gone overboard this year. So it sounds like it's going to be awesome.
So 2 things. First, Horizon will be there. Maybe Ollie will be there. Now your buddy. So if you don't get some stick time on a twin timber, you have failed.
Oh yeah, good point.
That being said, I told you this, guys, because I haven't. I'm thinking I'm just going to put it in the trailer, but I still have. Thank you, Fitz, by the way, for buying one for me. I still have my other Twin Otter new in box with floats,
Ah.
and they have a pond
Yeah.
out there. So I
Yeah.
was thinking that might be the plane I fly out there. So if I don't get Twin Timber flight time, I'll have Twin Otter flight time.
Yeah. Okay. But you need to get Twin Timber flight time.
I
Yes.
need to.
Yes.
Yes.
That is your mission.
You need a
Oh
field report.
gosh. All right. So can it be from anybody else who brings one? I just
Sure.
want to say, hey
Yeah.
buddy, I have to fly it. The guy's at home. He said
Terry
I
told
have
me to.
I'm not allowed to come home unless I fly a Twin Timber.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Here's $5. I'll buy you a soda.
And okay, so there's that. That is your mission. Also, I'm going to sound dumb here. What are TGK connectors?
I have no idea.
Is that
It
an
sure looks like a
RC?
Dean, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks RC.
Oh.
Look, he makes knockoff Deans.
I don't know if that's the advertising you want to give.
I don't know. I'm pulling up the website, so stand by. Yeah, they make connectors,
Look like adapters.
adapters.
Yeah,
But
they're adapters for to go from a Dean's to a XT7, XT30, or EC.
Okay. So not necessarily
Always.
their house brand. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
They deal in connectors of all types.
Yeah,
So
there's
they don't have their
standard
own-
connectors that you can normally use.
they're
but
diverse.
adapters.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of
kinds of stuff.
connectors
Oh,
out
neat.
there.
Connectors and connector accessories.
You need connectors. We got yellow ones. We got blue ones.
Okay, I get it.
All right, so you were talking about entertainment. The one and only time I went to SAF, quite a few years ago, probably 15-ish or more years ago, I brought a bunch of stuff, and one of them was at the time, pretty new helicopter called a Joker. It was a 60 size electric helicopter.
Huge back then. Right?
It was huge. It ran off of 24 to 32 NiCad cells. Or a 10S lithium eventually that ran to it. And so I brought it out and I was flying it around and I dumb thumbed it hard into the ground, flight line center practically. And I had people coming up to me throughout the day says, I didn't see it, but I heard it.
So is that plane or that heli still with us?
Oh yeah, in fact, it's hanging up in the garage. It's been retired. It's old and I don't even get spare parts for it anymore and stuff. But it's sort of a nostalgia thing. I stripped it out of the servos and some other stuff. But it's flyable. If I threw a couple servos in it, I could still fly it.
Is it brushless?
Yeah, I had a brushless motor, a big Outrunner brushless motor, and a big speed controller.
But NiCads.
No, I eventually flew it off our lithium.
Okay, but it always had brushless.
It always had brushes, yeah.
Okay.
It came out during the brushless era, but lithiums were not quite out yet. So it initially was it actually flew really well off in NiCads or nickel metal hydrides, but only for about 3 minutes or so. But it was
How
very
well did it fly on
aerobatic.
alkalines?
I was super embarrassed. I whacked it hard. But I just thought it was funny because people were saying, I missed it, but I heard it.
Our buddy Sparky used to do well at CEF with Best of Show Awards.
Oh, really?
So I think he's got a couple of those, yeah. I think his YO3A, that Schweitzer spy plane, was basically a glider converted to... Yeah. I think he won with that. We'd have to ask him, but I think he won a couple times. So he was a big deal out there. And I remember the last time I went, I ran into Sparky there, and also he was sharing a tent with Dave Graben. So I think that might have been the first time I met Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, for sure. But I always had a great time when I went. I told you before, I went twice. Both times I went with the Old Farts Flying Club, which was a select group of the people from the JSC Club that would meet at a churchyard on Friday mornings. And I would play hooky from work and go fly with them there. Fitz, you showed up from time to time too. But yeah, we would went out there and took a trailer and we stayed at a hotel. We didn't camp on the field, but the 2 times we went, it was just a blast. And you're going to have fun.
I hope so.
There's no hope. How could please?
It's a requirement.
And I don't want to hear any of this the day you get there. Oh, I'm kind of tired. I think no. Your job is to experience everything it has to offer.
I'm going to get a megaphone, and as soon as I park, who's got a twin timber?
Yeah, that too. And you're camping out there in your now insulated trailer, right?
Semi. I had this conversation with Terry the other night. It's like there's good, better, and best. Oh, and then there's like starter package. So I started with crap, and then I made it good, and my goal was to make it the best. And now I'm back down to better, and now I'm falling back down to good. So you asked me if it was insulated. It's partially insulated. I have no time to get to the other side, because when I tell you there's no way I can get to it, it's because all the plywood has to be recut. All the nails have to be yanked out, these stupid rail nails. And then I will say, in a positive turn, using these new screws, the proper screws, everything's lining up much better, and it's going to make it so much easier to maintain. So, and there you go. So
right.
it'll be better than a tent, but I'll still be going, God, darn it, it's not all the way. Still be kicking myself. But yeah, and I also, just for fun, I bought a new mattress, an inflatable mattress, but this is one of those self-inflating ones. So I got one that's small enough for my camping cot, and one I can put in the trailer. And boy, it's really nice. I did some research on these things, and it's not meant really for little tents. Like if you're backpacking, it's meant for, what do you call it, glamping. Okay. But I really like it. So it's like, okay, I think I'll feel good, because last time I went, I just had my sleeping bag for best, and this will be better. So I am moving up as far as style.
You could just string up a hammock between the wingtips on plywood overcast.
There you go. And you know what? That's a hammock. What a great idea. I'll just string it over to Dag's trailer, and I'll just sit in between the two. See, and I kind of wish this was a live show, because if there were other people who had gone, they'd probably give me some great advice. So I kind of like, this is like when Fitz and I went to Joe Knoll, which, by the way, Fitz and I will be going to Joe Knoll in about a month. Going the first half, where there weren't so many people, gave Fitz and I so much more time to look at everything, not feel rushed. And, I think I had a lot more fun learning because it wasn't so crowded.
Right.
Kind of the thing I feel with Seth. I'm going very dry. It's like, I'm just going to look around, have fun, make plans to come back another year. But that being said, boy, I have a feeling Joe Knoll is going to be a hoot for me and Fitz with our RV. So we'll save it for another podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terry.
I'll get there one day.
You will. Day. That one day when Fitz finishes his Cessna 172.
Right. Yeah. Well, are there any other events we want to talk about?
Nats is coming up. No? You want to talk about Nats?
Is there any events we want to talk about?
Oh, let me pull up your screen there. Let me give you solo time. Ooh.
Look at that. So Tomas sent me some cool swag. Look at that thing.
Yeah, Tomas over at Legend Hobbies. He has the engraved, personalized.
That's not
cozy.
There's that one. Read it and weep, boys.
What does it say? I can't. The window's small.
Oh, hold on. We gotta pull him up there. I got everything screwed up here.
It's just my name.
Over there. There we go. Terry Dunn, super genius,
president of RC Roundtable podcast,
Esquire.
Yeah. Right. So thank you, Tomas. These are cool things. I also got some other swag, but this one's pretty neat. I've never seen this much color and definition on one of these tumblers before.
Yeah,
but a whole
nice.
B-17 there. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Tomas at Legend Hobbies is sponsoring some stuff at the Bomber Field B-17 Gathering, the 35th annual special edition of the B-17 Gathering, this September 14th and 16th of 2023.
Through the 16th.
Was that
14th through the 16th?
14th through the 16th, yes. Yeah,
well, and that being said, it's kind of like Best. So some people are going to be there September 7th.
Yeah. August 12th.
No kidding. I mean, the campsites fill quickly And you know what? We'll talk more about it when we get closer. But if you are free this weekend, put it on your calendar to come attend. We'll talk more about the whole event. We'll be there. Brett Becker, I think, said he's wanting to go. Chris Wolf's on the fence.
We'll get him off that fence. Is this the event he came to last year?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been twice.
Okay. So
and he just, I don't know. Maybe the Texas heat got to him, you know. He wasn't in the best of moods. It's kind of like me with my trailer right now. I know what he's feeling. I understand him. But yes, the B-17 gathering is great. It's huge. Well, I say it's huge. I mean, we haven't had 200 pilots there, right? It's been on 120, 130 last year.
It was a pretty good crowd last year, though.
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been to where it's been bigger, and I think I told you one of like the first times I got to fly with my Piper Pawnee because it met the limit. You know, I was waiting at the pilot station with like 3 other pilots, so it was a long wait back then. But it is an awesome event. You got to come down. The guy who you interviewed last year, Fitz, who won the V-17 prize, all that aluminum.
Oh, yeah.
You and Chris Wolf interviewed him. That was definitely worthy of the trophy. So,
yeah. Well, let's clarify this because I always get confused. The B-17 event is not strictly warbirds, right? It's any scale big bird, so 80-inch monoplane, 60-inch biplane.
Correct. It's the preference. Excuse me. The focus is on warbirds and B-17 World War II. But they also have awards for full scale, you know, or scale models, giant scale models. But they're trying to do away from stuff like 3D flying and jets. You know.
Okay. So civilian models are okay as long as they're big enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It says right here, big birds are welcome to participate as long as they are replicas of full-scale aircraft.
Yeah, you could read the text that I put up that I didn't read.
Yeah. And jets are actually, turbines are allowable, I think, as long as they're large scale.
As long as they're scale.
Real.
Yeah.
What's the wingspan when you start getting into turbines? Because the 60-inch span, the F-104, is probably full scale. Or 80-inch span, yeah. So,
yeah, the jet scales are very nebulous, or it's a very gray area.
As long as you're in the spirit of the event.
In the spirit of being a large scale jet, yeah. I mean, there's been some pretty large jets that showed up there, so they're very much in the spirit.
Barry,
F-104,
yeah,
the giant A-10 shows up. Barry Rayburn's got an F-104 that's ginormous, and there's been some other large scale turbines out there, so they're generally.
Fitz, was it last year or 2 years ago we saw that F-14 going?
Ooh.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about that. You had video of it.
Yeah, we
2 years ago. Yeah.
It might have been 2 years ago, but yeah. Oh man, that hurt the wallet.
I mean, he was fighting that thing. I mean, you could just. He was like, oh, I think I get. We loved it. We were like, oh. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
This event is great because you do get a lot of bombers that show up too, so it's great to see all kinds of multi-engine. I'm sure Mike Lyle will be there as B-24. Usually a whole bunch of B-17s. And various other bombers that show up. They didn't fly, but we had somebody from California last year that had a really, really big B-17 that were sort of half putting together, but they never got it running or something. I mean, the fuselage was in 2 pieces. It was so big.
Well, they had that one guy who came, I think it was 2 years ago, who brought his really large B-17. He was flying it during the week because he got in early, and he clipped the trees on final.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we were like, I can't believe he hit that. It just didn't look right. But let's move on. We will cover this again before we go. Bomberfieldusa.com. The B-17 gathering. Go look it up. They also have a Facebook page. Just type in Bomberfield USA. That you'll find it. It's a great event, and we'll tell you more about it.
One last thing, the pizza's back, 8-foot pizza on Friday. And it's supposed to be bigger and better than ever. Or better than ever. Better than last year.
Okay. So anyway, more pepperonis.
One more thing for me. I think you were talking about maybe for this event, Lee trying to get Bally's Bomber to do a flyby. Did that ever become a thing?
I tried last year. In fact, I forwarded Barry Rayburn, the president of the club, his contact information. So it's out of my hands now. But last time I called him, he was just unavailable.
Okay, this is, for those who don't know, what would you call it? A full scale. Yeah, how would you describe this? Yeah, a mini B-17. Yeah.
It's a man carrying scale model of the B-17.
Yeah. There you go.
It's like a
single seat,
two-third scale, half scale B-17.
I think it's a third scale.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it's a third scale, single seat. Your feet in the nose, and the rudder pedals are right there in the nose. In the nose section. So
ultimate FPV B-17.
And I've never had I didn't ever got to see it fly. When I showed up at AirVenture, he had the gear problem, so he didn't get to fly it during a demo. So,
all right. Well, that'll be neat if you're able to work that out.
Yeah, I'll. Thank you. I'll write that down, and I will send another email to him and Barry.
Hey, and if he's at AirVenture, we can plant the seed. When we're at AirVenture,
you'll get these keys back when you agree to come to Bomber.
Right.
One other event that happened this past weekend, we had SAE Aero Design up in Fort Worth, Texas, happened this weekend.
Is it west or east this year?
I don't remember. I know it's 50-50.
What do they have against a Central?
I think it was east this year.
Okay.
Matter of fact.
So they alternate back and forth, right? 1 year it's east, 1 year it's west.
Yeah, because it's right in the middle of the country. Because depends on whether they have the east in Florida or the west in California.
Okay.
Which always happens first. Oh, but
sorry.
I see half a tail. We're showing some video of the event, and I saw a wheel come out of nowhere. Ouch.
Right to the best part. For those of you driving, SAE is full of wonderful flights, and this guy's their plane landed, the tail came off, and the wheels went forward and back.
It's a frangible airframe. So if that's not posted on the SAD page already, somebody needs to do that.
Yeah, I understand the weather was a bit blistering. I saw the kids' shirt flapping, so a little micro there going up and down. So I know it's pretty windy on Friday when they were setting up. Maybe it looks
Dutch roll there.
Whoa! But yeah, you got to watch the YouTube version of this. This is good. So
we'll put the link. We'll put the link with this video.
Is this Raymond's footage?
No, it's not.
Unfortunately, either Raymond or I made it this year. A table. I think the guy ran out of the way. But that table's kind of close. That's unusual.
All right. So if you're in your car right now, make a point to watch this video. We'll put a link in there.
Yes.
Good old crashy smashy content.
Oh, well, he's coming right at the crowd. Wow. So the SAE Aero Design Society of Automobile
Red flag.
Engineering. Yeah, definitely. This is a collegiate series, I guess you call it. The college students build model airplanes to perform certain tasks, usually, to lift weights of some sort and other technical things. And there's some very interesting. Oh, that's a nice looking. It must be the unlimited class. And so they meet and they present their designs to judges. They have a section where they do oral presentations. They submit written design presentations, and then they fly the aircraft. And so the fun part is when they go fly the aircraft, they fly at the Fort Worth Thunderbirds in Fort Worth, Texas. The club's been hosting an event for quite a long time, 10, 15 years. And it is always a highly, highly entertaining thing to watch. You don't know which is going to make it, which is going to crash, how well the students will do. It's great when they do a good flight. They get all excited and jump up and down. And some of the technical tasks are really, really interesting because they change each year. So I have no idea what this year is. I presume it's going to drop. There it is. It drops a little parasite fighter thing. A lot of times these little fighters are autonomous. Is that powered? Looks like it went up again.
Yeah, it appears to be.
Yeah, that's the first year they have powered one. Yeah, there's a propeller in the back. Wow, okay. Because last year there were gliders, and so they had to glide down and hit a target autonomously. It looks like this year they can actually power their little parasite fighters. And so it looks like crosswind there too. Lost a wheel on landing or something.
They lose a point for that too.
Yes.
When you lose parts.
Flight. Do they zero the flight if it's not flyable at the end? I forgot that rule.
I don't know. I think they lose points. I think the flight just not, what do you call it? That's neat with a twin. Disqualified if you lose a part on landing, I believe.
Yeah,
for that flight.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have a micro class that's usually has some sort of really constricting design constraints on it. It's got to fit in a box or something or another. That's kind of reminds me of that flying pancake a little bit.
Yeah, look at the Dutch roll in that thing. That's crazy.
It's got a lot of Dutch roll. So we're looking at, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we're watching some video of somebody taking some really interesting, looks like a sort of a flying wing tailless design with twin motors. That's a neat looking plane.
Yeah, it looks
pretty
cool.
well.
I'm going to give credit to Philly D. That's the person whose YouTube channel is sharing this. This is really good footage, by the way.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, Philly D on YouTube. This is it looks like it's some great footage. Look at the thickness of that wing, man.
Touch and go. touch, and not go.
They control it by twisting the tail boom, apparently.
Yeah, really.
I have not watched the entire video, but it's going to be hard for me anyway, to someone to beat the video I got of that guy just going right through the trees.
Yeah,
it's
the audio that does it.
Yeah.
The loud crunch.
No, the event is sponsored in part by Lockheed Martin, which a lot of the Lockheed engineers will judge.
Steal the ideas for these kids.
Yeah. Skunk works. Ignore those guys with the glasses.
They're all taking pictures, spy photos, grabbing ideas.
I see a bunch of flying body kind of stuff. I wonder if that's one of the design criteria.
Yeah, I'm assuming maybe they replaced the little, because I haven't seen anything small yet.
Yeah.
I think they replaced it with the lifting body.
Apparently, they have to take off from that table too.
Yeah, they did it last year. They had to take off from a table. It was a micro class, and they had to carry a certain types of things, a certain shape of things. They usually, they try to make rules that really, really constrict the design of the students can make to make them really think about how they're going to do it. I think the canards on that too. So it's very much an engineering challenge for those kids. Usually they're aerospace engineers, mechanical engineers, that kind of stuff, and so they have to do really tightly controlled rules. That's why the planes end up looking really weird, because they have to look weird sometimes to fit. To get the
it
lift
has to fit on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
it has to carry lots of ordnance.
Got to fit in the suitcase. Yeah. That's another. Man, that's too bad I missed this year. Some interesting designs. It's got one wheel.
All right, we're just going to watch this whole video unless we turn it off.
Yeah, it's some cool stuff.
Yeah, and it's an hour long, so I can't watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll just fast forward to some other part. Here's one taking off and not hitting the people on the side. Oh, wait.
You spoke too soon.
And it's, sometimes a little bittersweet. You see a plane may, the wings may fold up in flight, or they may do better than you think. Some planes look like they're made out of duct tape and baling wire, and they may do better than you think.
Turn it off.
Yeah, you got to watch it for yourself, folks.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it too. That's a nice long video. I made a short video, I think last year, some of the highlights as well. For the A&M plane was just cool. Last year they had to carry volleyballs or soccer balls.
Right, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and one plane carried like 20 something or maybe almost 30 soccer balls, and one fell apart in the air, and it was just kind of comical. All these balls are bouncing around and stuff as it came down.
Okay, well, I will jump here so Fitz can talk, but the next plane is Texas A&M's.
Yeah, A&M usually does really well. Wow, look at that! Oh,
this is from last weekend. Good job on getting this.
Looks like it had a lot of lift, just didn't have enough thrust or something happened.
The legs aren't long enough. But here's Texas A&M.
Well,
look at the size of that monster.
It's like a flying pencil.
Yeah. Look at the tapered wingtips.
It does got a lot of taper on it.
I mean, it tapers really from the root. I mean, it doesn't just like taper at the wingtip; it's tapered all the way from the root.
It's interesting because there's usually some teams that traditionally do. Oh, it's big.
I knew the RPM looked like it was 100.
A little tiny rudder.
It's a Texas flag. For those of you driving, the rudder is a Texas flag. Hook 'em horns. I had to say hook 'em horns when I see A&M.
But I'm curious about how the normal. Usually we have. I think there's a Polish team that usually does really well.
Yes.
Yeah. Brazil also usually wins.
But no Embry-Riddle.
No Embry-Riddle.
Well, let me jump to the next topic then, because we'll finish here, because I do want to mention Riddle. And this is something that I'd like to add on from Austin, my son, going to Embry-Riddle. We found out that they don't do SAE Aero Design at Embry-Riddle anymore.
Yeah, and we've talked about it.
And the comment was, well, they kept winning, yada, yada. So now, I'm not kidding you, that's what they said. So now they participate in a program called Design, Build, and Fly. And this happened just a few weeks ago. This is Embry-Riddle's entry called Rooster. And I may have told you this, but all the members of this team have rooster tail head, what do you call it? Mullets.
Haircuts?
Haircuts, yeah.
Oh, the mullets? Mullet haircuts?
Yeah. So anyway, that's their airplane. It came in third place out of over 70 teams. I think I have the score sheet here, at least the first half. So the first team, H-in University, ever heard of that one? I think it's not in the US. I mean, they beat the second place team by 30 points. Embry-Riddle lost only by 3 points for third place over University of, you pronounce that word, Terry.
I can't see it.
It's a
little small. I can't really see it.
Okay, well, so anyway, kudos to Embry-Riddle Daytona for coming in third with their entry. So that's the again, not SAE Aero Design, Design, Build, and Fly, and that is from the AIAA group called the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics.
So the non-SAE.
It's the other team, the other division. And from what I've heard, at least talking with the staff at Embry-Riddle when we visited, this was a lot harder. So I guess they just wanted to up their game a bit.
Well,
and sadly.
I was joking, but the AIAA is a very, very respectable and very well-known institute for aeronautics. And I think they do standards too, I think.
Yeah. So there you go.
I noticed the plane wasn't in the school colors. What's up with that, man?
I don't know. It says Embry-Riddle University, second place, 2022 DBF. So, but it's that one right there.
Well, at least they're participating in something. That's good, because it's such a valuable engineering exercise for students to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's good to see they're doing something.
Oh, here you go. Here's your photo.
Oh, cool beans. Do you know where that was?
I think it was in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, congratulations, Embry-Riddle. Woohoo! My son's future alma mater.
Yeah. Is he excited, getting ready to go?
He is. And Daddy's getting nervous.
Are you going to drive him out there, or are you going to fly out there?
Oh, absolutely. I'm dropping his butt off.
So how often do they allow you to go to the blood bank to sell your blood? It's like every third day, every week.
How many kidneys do you have?
I'm on a kidney deduction plan.
Do you stop at the sperm bank on the way home, or do you have to stagger them? How does that work?
Is it like a bar hopping? One day it's one place it's the kidney, the other place it's the spleen, one place it's the blood.
How are your kids, Terry? How are you? They're doing okay, right? You do what you need to do for your kids, right?
You gotta do.
There you go. You got to do what you got to do. So I'm not even going to think about it. I'm hoping that he will succeed and do well, and and hopefully pay back the bills.
Yeah.
At least help pay back, right? He'll get an invoice later once he graduates. I'll send him a nice fat bill. And side note, this happened just yesterday. I'll give it to him. The GoPro 7 that I had, I gave to him when I got my new GoPro 10. And he's used it for a while, but he took it to the beach when we went to Embry-Riddle, and it got wet, and then it just died. Just quit. And
was it out of the case?
It was in the case. No, it was sealed, everything. And, it's like it's supposed to be. And he's used it before for scuba diving and stuff, and it's never had any issue. But he put it in the water, came back out, it died. Well, Dad here forgot to unsubscribe his GoPro subscription when I got the 10. So luckily, after I paid for the subscription, it comes with this hassle-free GoPro return program. So no questions asked. That's a bunch of malarkey. There were lots of questions asked. And there was a lot of time, and there was more money to be paid. But he ended up getting a new GoPro 9 Hero.
All right.
And he ended up getting it, yet I ended up paying for it. So it's never ending.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, that is mine. Yeah, but you gave it to me. He's like, yeah, but I paid for it. So just remember, if I ever ask for it, I get it back.
Well, quasi-related to that, and I don't want to get into it tonight, but let's chalk this up as a future topic. When I was a kid, kind of the joke was used car salesmen were the shady salesman in all of business, right? Now, I think that mantle is held by cell phone salespeople. So I've got stories about trying to deal with cell phones and how every time that we have to trade one in or upgrade, it is a complete and utter nightmare from beginning to end. So let's talk about that in the future because that's related to RC stuff.
Okay.
All right. You just triggered me when you started talking about your GoPro. I can hear the words they're saying to you now when they offer you partial trade in and yeah.
Well, I mean, in the end, I'm out $140 for a new GoPro, hassle free.
Yeah, hassle free.
I had to pay for the subscription. I had to pay for the, it's a $99 trade in or something like that. So
yeah,
hassle free. It took him 3 weeks to get it back to me. I digress. He's got his GoPro. He's happy. I do what I can for my son. Hopefully he'll be happy at Embry-Riddle.
I'm sure he will be.
So can I segue into the next topic with Austin?
Whatever that is, sure.
NATS.
Oh,
the National Championships at International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana. Never been. Bucket list item. Going to do it this year with Austin. I mentioned it before. I plan to enter the nostalgia class. And here's the sad news. So the rules for nostalgia class, it has to be designed prior to January 1st, 1980, the aircraft that you fly.
Okay.
My Golden Eagle was designed January 31st, 1980.
Nuh-uh. How are there even records for that?
I cannot fly the Golden Eagle. It just breaks my heart because I did all that work and I was like, I can't wait to fly this just for fun and competition. I'm still bringing it because I want to show it off, but it doesn't qualify. So it only qualifies for the rudder elevator spoiler res.
Right.
And so I could still enter that with just way advanced stuff. So I mean, it'll be just for fun. I'll probably come in dead last, no big deal. But we're registered, so and if I do the RES, it's going to be earlier in the week, so that's okay. That'll give us more time together for Austin and I. But the nostalgia class is only Friday and Saturday, so that's a long drive to go there for just 2 days, and so I still plan to probably go early and hang out there. And I haven't decided whether we're going to do a hotel or if we're going to use the trailer / camp. So hoping to get with Scott Black, our buddy at Skybench Aerotech, and have him kind of hold my hand and give me some advice because I have no idea what I'm doing at NATS. I don't, but I'm just eager to go because I'd like to participate in the 100th anniversary of the first NATS and just be a part of it. I think Austin would enjoy it, and just getting a chance to fly my dad's Olympic 99 out there and again show it off is part of the joy.
When was that one designed?
78, 77. I don't have that. I'm not for sure, but I was funny. You asked the question because I was reading the Sagita 900 manual. I think the Sagita qualifies. So maybe I build the 900 before going to NATS. And it mentions the Aquila and the Olympic 99 as far as being competition models in the 70s.
All right. And these are you winch launch for the competition?
I think you can also high start. It's your choice.
Okay.
But here's the thing I didn't know. At least what I've learned watching some videos, AMA videos, it's best to have a team to go there or work with other members like groups so that you can have runners for your high start line.
Oh, okay.
I am putting Austin to work. He's going to be me when I was 8 years old with my dad. I'm going to make him go get the flag and run back. But that's how it works because please forgive me if those of you listening are just saying he is so wrong. From what I've learned about the competition, you have a 10-minute window to launch and fly and land, within 10 minutes because they're trying to keep you to 10. So there are points you get for landing at the right time or, landing close to the spot and zone. And so if you come down early, you can get back on the line and go back up,
Okay.
So there's, and I don't know the point scheme. I honestly, I don't care. I'm going there to just have fun and participate. I'll learn the rules later, when they say you're disqualified. Don't you know you can't do that? And so having those assistants, those are the people helping you, is a huge benefit. So I think that'll be fun if I can do that for Austin and I. We help each other out. And I don't know if there's a rule that states you can't share a plane.
So he's also going to fly?
Oh, absolutely. I've registered.
And you're going to fetch the high start?
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you been exercising? Training for this?
I'm playing the Rocky theme right now.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, the Rocky 4, whatever it was, the training scene.
Yeah, exactly. No, it'll be fine. I'm going to bring my mini bike.
The Karate Kid, you're the best you can.
So
Right,
I'll be going to Nats.
When is that?
July 20th. Is that correct? It's a week before AirVenture. So I think we're going to finish up 21st and 22nd. And then Sunday morning, we drive to go see you.
Yay.
We drive all the way to Wisconsin or pick up Fitz at, was it Appleton?
Appleton, yeah.
Yeah. We got to figure that out, Fitz.
Yeah, I do, because I haven't bought a plane ticket yet.
Yeah, and then you have to put your planes that you want to fly in my trailer.
Oh, that's right.
They have to go with me to Nats. But they can't be big anyway, so.
I don't anticipate bringing much to that.
I think our weight limit's 2.5 pounds and it can only be electric.
Okay. Not a problem.
So I'll give you one space.
One spot. Very special airplane.
Plus all the stuff I had to bring Terry.
Is there much? I know there's a couple kits.
Yeah, 2 things so far.
Yeah.
So far.
So do we want to segue? Actually, so before we segue to the natural thing, which is where you got one of those kits, one thing that popped in my head while you were talking about your gliders is last weekend was a work day for my club. We just went and did a general cleanup of the field, and they uncovered a winch that was there.
Wait, what?
We used to do glider competitions.
And it was like just buried in the ground or something?
Not that kind of winch. No, it was buried in the clubhouse somewhere. I don't know if it was in the attic or something, but a glider start winch, not like a Renaissance Festival winch.
Or a crescent wrench.
Right.
So a winch. Yeah, electric winch of some sort.
Winch. Yeah. We got it. Winch.
So apparently we used to do glider competitions at our field. And so they're talking about dusting it off and maybe doing some more. That'll be interesting.
It still works? Look like it still works?
Yeah, it looks like it's in good shape.
Ooh,
I mean, it's not much to it, right? It's just a car starter motor and battery and a foot pedal.
There's a lot to it. There's more to it. Brakes, return line, meters, pulleys. But I will say my dad had one. I think he acquired it from somebody. He started working on it, but then it, like this one, got buried in the corner of the garage. I never used it, so I sold it. And I don't know, there's something about a tow line that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
from what I heard,
I can still do it for Fitz. I can still launch planes.
Yeah, it sounded like they were going to replace the line that was on it because it's obviously old and gets brittle. But other than that, I think it's pretty close to ready.
I hope you do it. I hope you get that active with your club.
Never used an electric winch before, so
Neither
I've seen them
have
used,
I.
but I never used one.
Yeah.
I understand there are very good ways of the winch is very efficient in snapping a wing in half if you're not careful.
Yes. In fact, there's a video I saw today on YouTube. It's sad. But you laugh a little bit. But this guy winched his Sail Air up, and the wings folded into a V, but he landed it. I mean, it came down, and he was still able to fly it and land it. So a little too much power there.
All right, so let's go back to the segue that should have happened there, where you're bringing me 2 models. One of them you just picked up for me last weekend at
Which was it?
Oh my gosh, where did you guys go last weekend? Big doofus.
Where'd we go, Fitz?
We went somewhere where we got to talk to someone and look at hot rod cars.
Oh, that place.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
But
I thought you were only playing dumb.
I didn't pick up a plane for you there.
Yes, you did.
Oh, man, I'm not even thinking that plane at all.
Tell me again what's in that mug.
Hello, McFly.
That's okay. We love you anyway.
So that's what I'm here for, just for the abuse.
we went to New Creations RC, one of the pioneers in electric RC models up in Willis, Texas. And we got to talk with Kirk Massey.
Massey.
Right? Yeah, okay. Because there's two Kirks. I don't want to get the wrong
Yeah,
one. Kirk
Not
Massey
Jensen.
gave us a nice 10-minute interview. We posted it on our Facebook page. I don't know if we're gonna put it anywhere else. But he gave us a great.
also, isn't it?
Yeah, put it
What's
on
that?
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on our
Oh,
YouTube channel.
YouTube. Okay. Great. He's been running the store for over 30 years, and he's getting ready to go into semi-retirement. And so we thought we'd give him a chat, and he gave us a nice talk about his flying exploits, early years of the store, and his things he's been doing. And it's really neat to talk with him about that. And so while we were there, Lee picked up something for Terry. Lee, you want
Little Viking.
to?
Sorry, I really drew a blank, Terry. I was like, what plane are you talking about? Are you talking about the butterfly? Was the one I got for you at Wham's or something?
I thought that was part of the auction you won.
Oh, that was that was a big collection of the auction. By the way, Fitz, did you ever open up that box further of the plane I got you? It's still in the box.
No,
That M&M.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it.
It's tucked away. Okay.
No, it's on the side of the workbench. I've been busy with some other stuff.
I was just wondering if you went through it. So yeah, I got a plane for Terry because, and in fact, I mentioned his name, Kirk Jensen. He gets the credit because he said, "Hey, I saw some planes over here that have Terry written all over them." So he's the one who brought me over there. I photographed him, sent him to you, and then you picked the Little Viking.
And literally one of them was called a Terry, right?
Oh, that was actually at Gotta Know Joe's.
Okay.
And who knows what was in that box? That is a whole other story. If I think I'll let Fitz tell it because I think he could be more colorful and entertaining on that story.
Well, let's get the point across. New Creations is closing the doors pretty soon. So if there was anything you wanted, or if there's anything old school electric that you think you want, Kirk might have it. So he's got plenty of new stuff, but also a pretty big stash of old stuff.
That's the real gem, is to go in there and find some old school stuff or some unusual off the wall things that he's picked up over the years. Even when I was there, I picked up a couple of just oddball things that I'd never seen before. Like, what is this? It's kind of neat. It could come in handy. So he's just been in for so long.
Yeah. So what's the website? New Creations -RC? I'm going to check that right now.
Yeah, I had to check it. I don't think there's a dash. I think it's New Creations RC.
I think you're wrong.
No, I think it's New Creations -RC.
Yeah, but the problem is, the website is decades out of date.
Like 1990.
It's literally it's almost useless other than phone number and address.
So call.
But still, yeah, just call them, see what you have. Don't go by the website. I even asked him about it. He says, "Yeah, we just gave up on the website."
They did, but you can still go there and you get the phone number and the address.
Yeah,
And
it's a shop worth visiting.
Is there a discount now? What do you say it was? 13% or 10%?
10%.
If you pay with cash.
Yeah,
which that's hard to do over the phone, but
yeah. I was telling Lee that I had to lean on him. I think sometime last year I was doing that build review for the Leprechaun glider, and I needed a folding prop assembly. I needed a particular pitch prop. I needed a particular hub with a particular size shaft and stuff. So I called him up and says, "Hey, I need a 45 millimeter spinner with a 13.5 whatever, and this size." And he said, "Okay," and he go and grab the various parts I needed, and a couple of days later in the mail I got it. So it was real handy. So I'm gonna miss sometimes being able to get some specialized stuff that he sells
for sure.
And you gotta watch if you haven't watched the video interview we did just for the Astroflight story.
Right.
That was for Terry. That was all for Terry.
So it was funny when I watched that. It reminded me there was an article on Facebook Marketplace, one of the RC for sale things, and where a guy had a machined out Astroflight with a gearbox. And at the time, I didn't realize that Kirk had done those things. So I think you've seen it since then, Fitz. But yeah. So it was a Astro 25 that had been milled out just the way the one Kirk talks about. So I'm curious if that's one Kirk has his fingerprints on.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I didn't know the story about how he was a quarter scale Cub with I forget how many batteries, 20 cells or something like that.
1 million.
Yeah, and this is in the mid 80s. He did this. He had to use 2 chargers, and it was just and he kept burning up motors. Really, really bleeding edge part of electric flight. I didn't realize that he had done that early. So it's a really amazing guy to talk to. He does a fantastic work on rebuilding old hot rod cars too. I guess he
I have that in
the back. Yeah, we're showing a video and you'll see it in the back. But apparently that's where he started. He said apparently he's an expert bodywork guy and that kind of stuff. And then he kind of fell into the hobby store business and did that. Now he's getting back into his hot rod heritage with his bucket. What do you call it? A tea bucket? Something like that? I'm not a car guy.
I would guess that, but I really don't know.
I think that's what he called it. Basically a Model T, Model A kind of thing shop. He has got a couple different things, but anyway,
it's a Ford sports car.
Yeah, roaster. Watch the video, you'll see it. We got some cool stuff. He's always has been a part of BEST that Lee and I always talk about. BEST Electric in South Texas event. He either donates. Sometimes he set up shop there, and he just goes to fly. He's because it's kind of just down the road from him. So Kirk, we'll miss you. It's always been neat to go visit the shop, and he always comes with some interesting designs that he flies to. So,
sure.
But I understand completely. He's been doing it for 30 years. Sometimes it's time to move on.
Wasn't it Kirk that did the Corsair variant of like an F-82 twin Mustang? He did a twin Corsair.
Not a Corsair. He did a twin something. He glued 2 planes together.
He glued a P-47 and a Corsair. He split 2 park zones.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was an asymmetrical thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that. I thought he did a twin Mustang kind of thing, but with something else.
He did. I saw it in the shop. I can't remember what it was. Like 2 Delta Wing looking things that he glued together.
Strikers. Park zone strikers.
Yeah, 2 strikers that he glued together. He cut the wing tips off, the left one and the right wing, and glue them together to make a twin striker.
Okay.
Yeah, you do kind of goofy stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. What next?
Rubbing your hands in eager anticipation.
Well, I've got a story to share. Lee has a new toy to play with.
You got
you have a new toy to play with, Fitz?
Yes.
Well, yeah. So speaking of my club's work day last weekend, it didn't take long for us to do all the work that needed to be done. And the field is actually in great shape. When I talked about the Eagle 2 that I've been working on being ready to fly, I mentioned that we've got a lot of snow melt and everything was soggy, especially our field. But a few days of sunshine dried it right up. So our field looked great. I took it out there with me for the workday with a couple batteries, and that puppy flew, and it flew well. So I'm really happy with it. The Astro motor has plenty of power for it. Fitz, you predicted that it would hover. I didn't try hovering, but I don't think it'll quite do that. It does have some nice uplines, though. I did some hammerheads with it, and it went up nice and high from basically I did a touch and go with it, almost a full stop touch and go, and then took off into a hammerhead, and it went a couple feet high before it ran out of gas. So it flies nice. It was windy that day. For the very maiden flight, it was windy, but not crazy. So on the first battery, I flew for a couple minutes and landed. Then I did another flight on the same battery. It was at 30 amps with a 4,500 milliamp hour LiPo. Theoretically, you would get 9 minutes of full throttle if you wanted. And this thing obviously doesn't need full throttle to fly.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that was the actual maiden takeoff.
Was it? Oh, it took right off.
Yeah.
This is the first video I've seen flying, actually.
Oh, okay. Because you don't go to our Facebook page. Anyway. Anyway, but yeah, it does big loops. It did well in inverted flight. It rolls very slowly. So I found that when I want to roll it, it's full aileron deflection, full rudder deflection, and then pray. But
it's a trainer.
It's not intended to do that. But it's just a nice flying airplane, just like you would expect from a high wing 40 size trainer.
And there's just a little bit more smile in Terry's face because he's got it all old school, man.
My
Watch this landing. Watch
right.
this. Hover, hover, hover. Oh.
Plop. My first
the sound
go was nice.
It sounds good too.
It has a nice growl to it from the gearbox and maybe the brushes. Yeah. So for the second and third flights, the wind had really picked up and it was gusty. I flew anyway and it was fine. But you can see after the landing, as I was taxiing in, the wind blew it upside down. But no, it's a great flying airplane. No damage from that. My only gripe is something you hinted at last time, Lee, that to change the battery, I have to take the wing off. And in the instructions, it recommended 14 number 64 rubber bands to hold the wing on.
14?
That seems a little excessive. I don't think I can fit 14 on the pegs there.
Jeez.
But I used 10, and that seemed fine. So, but still, not a big deal. Had fun with it. I'm going to try it again on a calm day, hopefully, and just ring it out, see what it does. I did some stall test with it, and full back elevator, it just mushes along. It's a trainer. That's what you expect. So, bottom line, I'm super happy with it. Like you said, Lee, a classic airplane with a classic power system. And I don't think I mentioned this before. The motor is vintage. It's got the Astro speed control, which is equally vintage. The BEC, it has an ultimate BEC in it. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was the first off-the-shelf switching BEC. So that's probably very close to that same time frame as well. So, and the servos are vintage. They're the old Airtronics standards. The only thing in it that's modern is the battery and the new chrome Dubro wheels. Everything else is 20-something years old.
You
thumbs up.
Sure you want to trust those servos that old?
They have 0 time on them before I got it.
Oh, they're brand new servos?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's interesting. Those old Airtronic servos, the wires are different. What was signal and power are opposite. So you could just pull the plugs, but also the plugs, while they look like the universal ones, they have ridges on them that make them taller than standard. So I was able to clip off the ridges with some side cutters, and through creative use of some extensions, I was able to use the same Airtronics plugs. So yeah, that all worked out.
Nice.
Knocking on wood. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. Thanks. I won't go on much more about it, but thank you, Mark Roddy, for sending me the motor and speed control. It fit this project perfectly. As a matter of fact, the project was centered around using that motor. So yeah.
That was Astroflight 25?
Astro 25 Cobalt geared, which I think was also new. And it has the Astro 204 brush speed control, which is huge, like the size of a pack of cigarettes. But I forget what the voltage rating is on it. It's a lot of volts, and I think up to 50 amps. So it's a beast.
That's neat to see, kind of new life in old school electronics like that. It work really well.
It does, yeah. So hope to keep it around for a while.
Yeah.
That's my story. So now Lee has a new toy and Fitz has a new toy. Who talks about the new toy first?
Go ahead, Fitz.
Mine's real quick. I've picked up the new E-Flight Ultra Stick 1.1 meter one. So that's the new one. We didn't really talk about this, but it just was released a couple of weeks ago or so.
You say you picked up.
Well, yeah, I picked it up and looked at it.
Picked it up from his doorstep.
Yeah, I picked it up from my doorstep.
Someone delivered to you. Yeah, let's just come on, man.
Details. So, what was I going to say? I really haven't had a chance to do other than kind of fondle it and look at it in the box, middle of a couple other projects. But it looks really neat. Comes with balsa wood bind and fly. It looks like just a few things to put together on it. Look forward to playing it. I have the bigger brother, the Ultra Stick, and this looks to be in a similar vein. Looks like you're good.
Did you ever have the first version of the mini Ultra Stick?
I did not.
Okay, I had
Did
one.
you?
Yeah, it was a fun airplane. You could do had inboard flaps, outboard ailerons, and you could do crow and other stuff with it. Just a very nice all-around flying airplane.
Like
most sticks are. I'm just curious if there's any notable differences between Rev 1 and this one?
I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. It'd be interesting. Maybe we can compare notes that you remember, or if somebody has one. I wonder if it's basically the same design, just tweaked a little bit, because it looks like it has the same split flap ailerons. The electronics are newer, of course. They have the whatever AS3X safe, probably the telemetry setup on it.
Is it a 4-cell or 3-cell?
I think it does 3 or 4-cell, right?
Okay, mine would have been 3 only. It had a Park 450 motor and a 3-cell 2200, 2100, whatever it was.
Okay, so this one definitely is a power upgrade. It's 3 or 4-cell. It's got the 45 amp speed controller with telemetry.
The first one was no slouch at all with the power system, so I can't imagine what this new one's like.
Should be fun. I wonder if it has reverse thrust on this. I'll have to double check on that. So yeah, I will be doing a review on it. I will on my channel, the Hobby View channel. I'll put, at some point put a review on it. It's kind of neat to see a little pocket, easy. What do you call it? Small field flyer. There it is.
That's the old version, right?
That's the old one, I think, because I think the paint scheme's different.
Wait, no, that's.
Is that the new one? Yeah, because the new one's red and black. The paint scheme's different, I think. The new one. There's no blue like that.
That didn't look like my old
there
one.
You go. Yeah.
Think.
So yeah, it's pretty sad. Ultra sticks are kind of fun sport planes. It's the old one. He's looking to compare some. The tail's different, isn't it? The rudder.
Yeah, what is Lee showing us right now? He's just flipping through different.
He's showing the old and new one. It looks like.
Okay.
Your mic is off. You're talking.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
I tapped my mic. I'm yelling at you guys. You're not listening. That's great. Okay, snafu. It's not. At least we're not live. So, yeah, I was just showing the different models there, and I never had one, but Fitz and we saw one, the old version at Gotta Know Joe's, and it made me think about the one you're going to get, and I just wonder what the size differences are. So let us know what the difference. Make sure you do a side-by-side comparison of the specs on the two.
What do you side by side? Like he got his hands on the older one?
No, like the spec-wise comparison of the specs from the old to the new.
I'll take a look. I might know somebody who has an old one. I'll have to ask him if it's the old one. It'd be nice to grab it, do a side by side, just put them both on the bench or something, take a look.
Yeah,
I was curious. So, and that's
so this is not those reboots where they just put new electronics in an older airframe.
That rudder looked different, at least, didn't it?
Yeah. I think the wingspan is different. So
we're going to charge $100 more for a different rudder.
Yeah, well, inflation. You pays. So that's there. I also have the Maxi Lift from Legend Hobbies. It's what's the best to describe it? It's basically a high wing sport plane, but it's got a bomb bay in it.
Okay.
And a glider toe. 30cc size plane.
Well, you're just speaking about it as if we should be familiar with it. I'm not.
You're not? Oh.
You know, the old Maxi Flow fly. Oh, Maxi Flow. That's something different altogether.
Oh, we won't talk about that. So yeah, this is another review model. This will be in model aviation.
Is this the Seagull Maxi Lift?
Yeah,
Maxi Lift.
Maxi Lift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a model aviation review I'll be working on. I'll probably have an associated video with it. It's kind of a neat plane. It's just kind of a sport high wing thing, but it's neat. The little things it has and does will be more interesting. I mentioned it's got a servo actuated bomb bay doors on the bottom, so there's sort of clamshell doors that open and close. There's also glider release on the top, servo actuated. There's a bomb, so you can candy drop or parachute in or whatever. You can drop out of the bottom of it. It's got a bunch of hatches. You can put stuff in the bomb bay from the top hatches if you want. You can make it electric or gas. It's got a big bay in the front for tank or batteries. Easy.
What's yours going to be?
It'll be gas. I have a 35cc Stinger engine, rear exhaust. That'll be in it. And
so going to be. You haven't flown this yet.
I have not flown it yet. It's on the bench being worked on. That's why. I'm not sure when I'll be able to get the ultra stick.
Tail wheel is beefy.
Yeah, it's a nice tail wheel. It looks very much similar to the tail wheel that is on the Shock Cub,
Okay.
which is a very fine piece of machinery.
So did you see any of these when you were in the factory?
I don't remember. If I did, they were in bare bones. I didn't recognize them. I
All
may
right.
or may not. And as I mentioned before, not everything's being manufactured at once, so they may have had a production run and then stopped and then went on to something else.
I'm going to fly this one. It's missing a servo.
Now that's interesting. Now there's two
Whoops.
servos in the tail of it for their
Yeah.
elevators.
Well,
That's
not this one.
Well, yeah, I guess it didn't fly.
This one flies on hope and a prayer.
So, speaking of Seagull models, you guys see that I posted the video of my.
Oh yeah,
Man,
I haven't
it
watched
had
it yet.
way more like follow me, come with me while I walk down the streets of Vietnam, and
Yeah, I got some B-roll.
You
Yeah,
did.
that video's been doing really well. I didn't realize we could do that well. People, I don't know how they discovered it, but
you've got it, Fitz.
yeah, thanks. And that's all basically done cell phone. Just walking around with my cell phone. I didn't bring anything fancy with me other than the microphone, the wired mic. That's kind of ugly.
Let's see, 30,000 views in 3 days.
That's probably the best performing video I've had, maybe since the
Dang.
the P47, maybe during the COVID shutdown, I guess. But yeah, it's on fire. I'm really, really surprised.
YouTube grabbed your video and shared it with other people. This looks promising.
I guess.
And
So.
145 comments.
Yeah, people have been making a lot of comments.
Wow.
A lot of good stuff. I got a couple of grumpy ones, but for the most part, it's been really
well. Good. Yeah, always. It's
yeah,
Well, then you're doing something right.
There's a couple guys still fighting the war, but it's all good. I don't mind at all. But yeah, people find it interesting, and I didn't realize I had that much footage. It's like, wow, and there's still some stuff that was on the cutting room floor, but it'd be nice to show. I guess maybe there's nothing like it. It really shows the operations of a plant like that. So thanks everybody who's watched the video and giving me good thumbs up and comments. I appreciate it.
Save the cutting room floor stuff for like a 10-year anniversary reel with the director's cut, and you pay to watch that.
Yeah. Yes. There's a couple things I cut because I probably shouldn't show it yet because there's some things that may hint at unreleased aircraft and stuff. So I made sure I cut that out.
So no Easter egg spoilers in there?
No Easter egg spoilers. No. Sorry.
All right. So it's an 11-minute video. I'm going to watch it after we finish recording tonight.
Yeah, it's not that long. And it has footage. It shows footage of me flying too and stuff at the flying field. So it's a hybrid video.
Very cool.
I'm not going to watch it. Just so funny. Fitz.
There's a picture of me. They were taking pictures too, and so on the Seagull Models Facebook page, there's a picture of me that they took, holding the transmitter and looking at the Corsair and stuff. And they said something about me visiting. So I didn't realize they were taking pictures of me, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, tit for tat.
Yeah, that's okay. So anyways, that's it for me. I don't think I have anything else. Lee, I guess you got a new transmitter.
I did, and you've seen it, and you fondled it.
I did. I played with it. I pressed the buttons. I smelled it. caressed it.
We played with it for a little
features.
Bit.
Yeah.
So I got the Radio Master Boxer in, as you can see in all its glory, and it's huge. It's huge. Express LRS 1 watt module that goes in the back.
That module's cool. It's all machined aluminum.
It is. It's got a speaker. It talks to you. You can fondle a little button on the back. I have no idea what it does. You plug it into that 6,000 milliamp hour battery that's plugging in this thing. Here, I'll turn it on for you so you can hear it. It says it talks to you.
Welcome to HTX.
I have been able to bind it to one of my Spectrum receivers and got the servos to move. Not sure how I did it.
It just worked, kind of, sort of.
Well, I have said this before. I got it for a couple of reasons. One, is not too expensive. Two, it's got a lot of channels. Three, it's got a lot of compatibility. And four, one of the main reasons I got it was so that for Fitz, this is for Fitz too. I can use my new Cinelog or Cinewhoop, whatever you want to call them, to do some chase video for his review planes. And I got to show you, this is where my GoPro goes, my little GoPro 10. So I'm hoping to get some really cool stuff in the air, and hopefully, if I get it working well, take it with me to Nats and maybe AirVenture and get some good footage with it. So I want to play with it. So I needed an Express LRS transmitter, and so the Boxer was new. Joshua Bardwell, gave it a thumbs up, and I figured, well, it's worth trying. Now, the transmitter itself is, I got the page up here. It was only $140, and it supports up to 16 channels. And that's just the transmitter only, not the battery, not a receiver. But that is a great price. Yeah. And then the Express LRS module was another $100 on top of that. So still within a very good price range for something that has so many bells and whistles. But there is a learning curve, and I haven't mastered it yet. I'm not frustrated. It's just like, okay, I turned it on. I kind of got through stuff. I got my system to work, so I know I could go fly something. I just don't have dual rates and anything set yet, and the numbers don't match up at all. Like it says, input channel 1, output channel 4, and then on my receiver it's channel 3 or something like that. So I got to learn all that setup. But I also need to figure out how to turn on Express LRS. And again, learning curve, just got it, guys. Because right now I've only been able to use the 4-in-1 protocols on the Boxer and not get the other one worked. I thought I had it, and it just sat there for the longest time trying to load the Express LRS programming, and it didn't do it. So those of you who have one or are yelling at me through the speakers or whatever, I'll figure it out. I'm not in any rush, but as soon as I do, I'll get this little quad gun. But then I got to add this. It wouldn't be a show, RC Roundtable, without a Lee rant at the end. But look what just happened this week. The version 2 came out. Oh. I haven't even taken this off the ground, and they came out with a version 2.
Oh, gosh, the one is half price now.
It's probably. It's like, yeah, for those suckers who bought the other one, it's $100 off. So anyway, there's my rant. 20. Yeah, there you go. Well, it is what it is. But I for the videos I saw online, this should do the trick for what we're looking to do. And you know what? If it doesn't, and I get used to the new Express LRS programming and all that jazz, I'll get another quad, and we'll keep trying.
So what are the protocols that are included in the 4-in-1?
Oh, it's like, I know it's FR Sky is in there.
I'm thinking of Star Wars, a protocol droid.
See,
6 million communication.
You know what? You asked me that question, and all I was looking for was the Spectrum. Man. You know what? I don't have time to go through the transmitter because, again, its menus are not just. I'm sure there are intelligent reasons for setting up the menu this way. And I had a call with Phil Hinkle because he's had a Radio Master, and he still has. Which one did he get? Pardon me. He has a Zorro, Radio Master Zorro. It looks like a game controller.
Okay.
And the logic behind the programming seems to be more like MIT graduate design, like show your work people who are like have to show their work. So everything had to have a meaning to go from here to here. So unlike when
first order derivative from channel 1.
Well, like when you have a Spectrum radio, the channel output defaults are typically the same. You never change that. And you go into the, and bind or you mix stuff on this side. And so here they want you to know every step, every range and so forth to get to that final point. So you have to actually go the whole route. And, it's a little frustrating now. I'm pretty sure after some time I'll get the hang of it.
I think it's one of those things that it's tricky to learn, but extremely powerful once you know what you're doing.
Exactly. And for you, Fitz, because you have the Raspberry Pis and stuff like that, to have this radio where you can plug it into a main controller, and then send out signals through wires to other actuators and so forth. Mm-hmm. I can see that this is way more flexible for you than just a simple, NX10. I say simple, but
I get it.
Okay, so here's the answer, Terry. It says the 4-in-1 is limited to FR Sky. Oh no, that says European. I don't know if that's the same. It says FR Sky, X2, LBT, Hot, LBT, and DSMX. So
what are LB and LB2?
I'm LBT, excuse me.
LBT.
That's all I know. I saw DSM and went, okay, I'm good to go.
So not fast.
Yeah, I don't see fast.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, good luck with it.
Yeah.
I was going to say a shiny new toy, but it's not shiny. Your stealthy new toy.
Stealthy, exactly. It's got some weight to it. Fitz, you had your hands on it.
good?
What was it? What was it that you weren't sure about?
Weren't sure about.
You thought the sticks were too short
Oh yeah, the stick
for
seems a little
pinching.
short.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could probably adjust the size, but I just thought the default was a little bit on the short side. But that's just me. It's personal.
Yeah, I'll bring my screen up here because I wanted to show Terry this. Let's see, I'll slide you over here. So Terry, all the top buttons. This one is a temporary. Okay, you push down.
Okay.
This one is a locking.
Ah. All right.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you pinch, your fingers tend to come up here,
Oh yeah.
and so I can easily see you accidentally hitting these buttons because you're trying to pinch.
Yeah. So don't put your motor cutoff on that one.
But for me, see this little ridge right here? For me,
Mhm.
for thumbs, perfect.
Mm.
I'm not hitting anything. So we'll see.
Huh. All right.
And as Terry, as Fitz said, the 6,000. I think I told you, Terry, the charge rate on this battery is limited to 2 amps. You can't 1C charge this battery, but you're probably set for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Even if you're using the ELRS module.
Definitely not.
It one watt.
Glowing.
Yeah. You're going to be glowing after that. You might have to wear a lead suit.
I'll keep
You're getting an X-ray. Yeah.
It's a 2-cell battery in there.
All right. Pushing up on 2 hours. Lee, are you feeling the twitch yet? See the cane coming from the side. Whoa.
Yeah. I was about to send you a private chat and say, let's go, guys.
Right.
Most people have reached their destination.
All right. Well, one more thing I was going to point out, because a couple of times we have mentioned reverse thrust. I think early on when we were talking about some Horizon stuff. So have you guys seen the video of, I don't know what category it is, but the indoor flying competition, a recent one where they were flying with reverse thrust? I think it's Gernot Bruckmann. Yeah, but it's an indoor flying routine using reverse thrust. We had seen some of that at EFest, whatever it was.
Yeah, I was thinking of it. I forgot the FAI name for that.
Yeah, it was similar to what we saw then, but it has really been refined since we last saw it. And the level of control he was able to show with reverse thrust and the things he did was pretty incredible. So if you haven't seen that video yet, you should check it out. And that'll be another one we link. Yeah. So, man, we've got a lot of videos to link this time.
I think they use variable pitch props on those, right? Not really a reversing ESC, or they do that now?
Yeah, it probably is variable pitch.
Oh.
Yeah, which I think would be much faster. I don't know, though. Maybe it is reversing.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be either way. I don't know. I'm speaking from ignorance.
Yeah, I think the ones we saw back in 2016 would have been variable pitch.
I think they were variable pitch, but maybe the ESCs have gotten so refined that they don't need it.
Yeah, they were flying quads there for a while that had reversing ESCs that could go back and forth pretty quickly.
Yeah, I had one.
Oh,
what did I do with it? Yeah, remember the one that
Santa Claus?
No, no. Before they went out of business, or before they were bought out by Horizon. The
Tower Hobbies.
One sold by. I think you had one, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did.
The what's it called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Did you get that one from me?
I think I got yours. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a fun little thing. I had a lot of fun with it. It was basically like a helicopter, but it had reversing props, reversing ESCs. They could do it in a split second, so I could flip and invert it right side up with it. It was a quad. I forgot the name of it.
And it had props that would work relatively well either direction.
Yeah. Anyways, that was still pretty amazing to be able to do that. But
yeah, the name of that thing will come to me in the middle of the night.
You wake up in the middle of the night. It's called crap. Anyways, so where were you going on that? Is that something you plan on? Just a video you're talking about? Is that?
Yeah, just something I saw on Facebook that was really impressive. Just some great flying, and the neat thing about those indoor models, it all happens so slowly that
Yeah.
unlike with other 3D, especially 3D helicopter flying, where my brain not only couldn't imagine the stick movements to do it, my eyes can't keep up with what's going on. So while I respect that the skills it takes to do that are beyond anything most humans can do, I don't think I fully appreciate it because I just can't grasp everything that's going on. But these indoor ones, it happens slow enough that you know what they're doing is difficult, but it's at a speed where I can kind of absorb all the things they're doing.
Some of them are almost like defying physics or something, the way they fly so slow and able to do these maneuvers. Just amazing.
Yeah.
Very majestic.
Helimax Voltage 500? Was that
That's it? That's it. Yes. Yes.
When's the last time you flew that?
A long time. I'm trying to remember what I did with it. I think it's hanging up in a garage somewhere. I whacked it. I was flying somewhere and ended up flimming when I should have flammed and banged it into the ground and broke some of the props. I think I got replacement props for it and just haven't put them on yet. I need to go find out what I did with it because it was a fun thing to. Of course, you probably can't get props for it anymore, so I don't know if I want to fly it. But I did have a lot of fun with it. It was just a cool thing to fly around.
Yeah. All right. Are we done? Are we wrapping this thing up? We're just sitting there.
We're done for Cessna 172.
All right.
So episode Cessna 172 is in the bag.
What do we decide the name is? Skywagon or Skyhawk?
Skyhawk.
That's it.
Sky Warrior.
Sky Table.
Sky Table. Captain Sky.
Right. So one last comment about that. And it also relates to Riddle. I specifically remember sitting in a classroom in Riddle back when they had hexagonal buildings out there next to the runway.
The weird shaped classrooms.
Yeah, so they were all like pie shaped. It was like the buildings were Trivial Pursuit game pieces, and each room was one of the wedges.
Yeah, it was really weird.
But if
you got the wrong seat, that the blackboard would be at some weird oblique angle.
Yeah, but it was right next to a full scale runway, so who's going to complain?
Yeah.
But I remember I was in some classroom in there, and up on the wall they had, I think it was a 172. It might have been a 150 wing, but it was a Cessna wing, all aluminum, right? And they had it sectioned out where this top skin was off. And I remember looking at that and thinking that aluminum is way thinner than I ever imagined the inside of a wing would be. Yeah. Like I thought the spars were going to be like I-beams, these big honking things.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, wow.
That stuff is real thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It's that's strong enough to do that, but it's still so thin.
Yeah. So that was one of the mental hurdles that, like, just in terms of how airplanes are built and how they work, that assumption I had made since I was a kid was just shattered on that day.
I know, but the whole point of going to the school is so that the next time you look at it, you go, oh yeah, I'm an engineer now. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wing struts aren't optional.
That's true. Yeah, they have wing struts to keep the wings from folding.
Yeah.
But the 177 does not have wing struts.
It does not, yeah.
Oh, really? The Cardinal?
FYI. The Cardinal does not have wing struts.
Retracts and no struts. How about that? All right.
Yeah. Pretty slick plane.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Maybe that has the I-beam for spars.
And now you know.
Yeah.
Little star. The more you know.
Yo, Joe.
Okay,
so if y'all want to have any complaints about things we've said wrong, email contact@rcroundtable.com. You can visit our website at rcroundtable.com. But we do a lot of our chatter on Facebook, so please go look up our RC Roundtable page up there. And thank you for listening and watching the show.
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah,
and now you can close things out, Fitz, because you do it so well.
I do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening for another fun-filled information extraordinarily.
I don't know if we want to make that claim.
Okay. Everything you heard is a lie. In fact, I'm lying to you right now. So thanks, everybody, for listening to episode 1 Cessna of the RC Roundtable. Comments and questions, as Lee said, you can throw us a line at contact@rcroundtable.com. And of course, check out all our social media stuff as well that you will see in the comments and Facebook and whatever. rcroundtable.com is our main webpage. You can download these episodes and also look at our back library of all kinds of cool stuff.
RC Roundtable was filmed in front of a studio audience.
It was not. And if you're going to Seth, go say hi to Lee. Offer to let him fly your twin
Yes.
Timber, or
Hopefully-
pressure him into flying someone else's.
Hopefully, Lee will be bringing some stickers with him.
I will do that.
Okay, so you can pester Lee for a sticker at Seth.
And ask for some stick time on Plywood Overcast.
There you go. That's it.
That's right.
Maybe I'll get everybody to sign Plywood Overcast who gets their hands on it.
Yeah, everyone who flies it gets to sign it. How about that?
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. Until next time, it's been fun, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Please visit our website at rcroundtable.com, where you can send us comments and suggestions or listen to our other great podcasts, where you will also find links to our iTunes and social media sites. Thanks for listening.